Lightweight bout, Trey Ogden coming in at plus 105 against Nikolas Motta, sitting at minus 135. No over-under out for this one either. 3-2 in their last 5 for both men. 33 years of age for Trey Ogden, 30 years of age for Nikolas Motta. And Ogden will have a slight reach and height advantage. Trey Ogden seems to be the man, the coach, transitioning towards the coaching role more so than the fighting role. His UFC career hasn't been anything crazy. He is 1-2 in his UFC career. He's lost to Jordan Levitt and a loss to Ignacio Bahamondes. And as you said earlier, got that win against Daniel Zellhuber, which was quite the shock because he came in there as a plus 310 favorite, got it done. And then his last time out against Bahamondes, a lot of people were looking at that one as like Bahamondes is pretty similar type of guy to Daniel Zellhuber, but Zellhuber put it on him. Pretty easy win for Bahamondes in that one against Trey Ogden. Ogden coming in against Nikolas Motta. Nikolas Motta hasn't had a great UFC career either, 1-2. And he's been knocked out a couple times. Manuel Torres, his last time out, really nasty elbow, put him out pretty bad. And I believe he had some concussion issues that they had to address because they wanted to get this fight booked earlier, but they had to push it off till now. But Nikolas Motta, I think both guys are probably, whoever wins this might stay in the UFC. Even both guys might get cut. Who knows? I don't think either guy has some bright future in the UFC. Trey Ogden moving towards the coaching role at Marathon MMA. I think that's probably the route that he'll go if he loses this one. But who you got in this one? It's another greasy one, but at least it's a closer line. Who you got?
It really is greasy. I'm gonna lean Trey Ogden at slight plus money. The Zellhuber fight, I keep going back to it. Like Trey Ogden is a good wrestler, but he doesn't always use it, especially like when he should be. He's kind of, he stayed on the feet the whole time with Zellhuber. Besides, he landed one takedown, but he wasn't spamming takedowns. I don't know if he was worried about getting tired or gassing out, but he was able to stay and outland Daniel Zellhuber and get the unanimous decision. Since then, Daniel Zellhuber has gone on to look pretty damn sharp, and even before that fight, he looked pretty damn sharp. I think it was a big shock, and Ogden was a big underdog there. So it shows that he has the ability to stay on the feet with some higher level strikers. I don't necessarily think Nikolas Motta is a high-level striker. I just think he's got some power. He swings hard. You watch him fight. He's not real active. His head's kind of on the center line. He's not moving much, but he does possess power. I will say that. You've seen him get some KOs. But at the UFC level, he's got the knockout over Cameron Van Camp, and that's his only win inside the UFC. And Cameron Van Camp, I'm just going to be straight up, was pretty damn awful, especially on the feet. He gets hit. He gets knocked out. I'm pretty sure he was just in bare knuckle and got knocked out there as well. So, that's your only win. You got absolutely flatlined by Manuel Torres, and you got knocked out by Jim Miller too. Like, it's kind of been a rough go of it so far in the UFC for you. That's the main reason I take Trey Ogden here. Trey Ogden's at least shown he can hang in there with good strikers. He's pretty tough too. I mean, he hung in there with Bahamondes, who landed 100 significant strikes against him, who knocks a lot of people out, who has great kicks, and he was able to survive and didn't get put out there. So I don't know, man. I'm thinking Trey Ogden. I think he's got the wrestling to fall back on too here against him. I think Motta's a little smaller for this division as well. He's going to be a couple inches shorter. It's not like he's going to have a big reach advantage where he's going to be able to, fight really well from the outside against Ogden. Ogden does move decently with his foot, like with his footwork at least. He's not the best head movement by any means. He will get hit a little bit, but against Motta, who's not a big volume puncher, who's not an insane kickboxer or boxer by any means, if you avoid the power, I think he's going to have some success. He's going to make it close like these odds show, and overall, I'll give him the wrestling edge too, which is going to make me take him here at slightly plus money.
Yeah, it's a weird one because Motta, he's just going to wing bombs really early. And for Trey Ogden, he's never been knocked out. But on the flip side, he's literally 0 wins by KO/TKO. Mm-hmm. So it's not like he really offers much on the feet that Motta's got to be, afraid of. So I don't know if that makes Motta more confident in the fact that he could wing bombs. But then that also opens up the takedown aspect for Trey Ogden, which I think is probably the smartest way to go about this for him, is to get the fight to the ground. He's got a number of wins by submission, 11 to be exact. He's only been finished by submission Nikolas Motta has been knocked out a few times, 4 to be exact, and he's been submitted once. So this is a greasy fight. I'd probably lean Trey Ogden too, just based on, I don't know, maybe the more technicalities of it. Nikolas Motta definitely live for a KO, but we've never seen Trey Ogden KO'd. So I think Trey Ogden should be able to avoid it, probably clinch him up, maybe even use the footwork. And, he put on a good performance against Zellhuber. If he can do that here against Motta, I think he should cruise to a victory, but just a real greasy one. I wouldn't be, too invested either side, but for the pick, I'd go with Trey Ogden.
Don't forget, Trey Ogden, 16 wins, 13 by submission. So if he does get it to the ground, that's live as well. I've seen Nikolas Motta lose by submission as well. Sorry, 11 submission wins, but yeah.